Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes meant to help people out in tough times. At no time is it okay to break any laws. Check with your local law enforcement, your local recycling centers or any other relevant authority on rules that were not mentioned, as I am only human, not an expert. 1. Intro. Hello YouTube, I am here today to see if I can make some people some money. How much money? That depends on the personal situation. However, I can guarantee that if the steps of this video are followed, I will maximize the amount of return on your investment of time and energy. This video will show the ins and outs of the modern-day recycling program of California in regards to CACRV. This program allows many people to make ends meet, pay bills, get that much-needed gallon of gas, or even put food on the table. Talk is cheap. So, here is the math that you can verify yourself with a simple calculator. You have a limit that is set by law, that you, as well as recycling centers, are required to follow. Your limit is set by the vehicle being used to bring the load in. If the car has California plates, then you're in luck. And, if the vehicle does not have a California license plates, then you have a lower limit, which, unfortunately, means that you may not want to rent a truck to take in recyclables unless you know the rented car will have California license plates. Vehicles with California plates can bring in under 100 pounds of plastic, 100 pounds of aluminum cans, and 1,000 pounds of glass in a single day without going over the 1,000 pounds limit. What does it mean to go over the limit? The part of the load that goes over the limit cannot be bought and the customer must take back with them or accept a scrap value. Recycle for free, no money. However, if the rest of the materials are under your daily limit, then those can still be purchased. A vehicle with out-of-state license plates cannot go over a $50 limit. This means that an out-of-stater with $50.01 load will be rejected and have all of the materials returned to them. The rule is all or none, as in, either you attempt to recycle everything you brought, or none. So, no putting material back in the vehicle to skate under the daily limit. With that out of the way, here's how the math breaks down. Now, please bear with me. The absolute maximum that you can bring in a single day is just under 100 pounds of plastic 1, 100 pounds of plastic 2, 100 pounds of plastic 3, 100 pounds of plastic 4, 100 pounds of plastic 5, 100 pounds of plastic 6, 100 pounds of plastic 7, 100 pounds of aluminum cans, 100 pounds of beam metals, and 1,000 pounds of glass. It would be very unlikely that anyone would be that well sorted and have the capability to transport 700 pounds of plastic, plus an additional 200 pounds of cans, beam metals, not to mention the 1,000 pounds of glass, for a grand total of 1,900 pounds. Glass has the highest limit but the lowest payout. This makes it quite a headache at times, as it is the heaviest, with the addition of needing separation of color as well as eligible CRV items from non-CRV items. At 10.5 cents a pound, a common rate for glass, that means that 1,000 pounds of glass equals roughly $105. It would be more common for a person to approach the limit for one material and, based on the vehicle size, probably be under the limit for the other material. Your most common scenario for a triple max would be just under 100 pounds plastic 1, 100 pounds aluminum cans, and 1,000 pounds glass, which would be roughly, based on local prices, $1.30 per pound multiplied by 100 pounds equals $130 from plastic 1. $1.70 per pound multiplied by 100 pounds equals $170 from aluminum. $0.105 per pound multiplied by 1,000 pounds equals $105 from glass. That turns into a grand total max of $405 from 1,200 pounds of material. If the place was open 7 days a week, and somehow there was that much material for you to bring in, which is, in my opinion, out of the realm of possibility, but I promised you math, then $405 multiplied by 30 days equals $12,150 per month, which equates to $145,800 a year. That is not going to happen. Sorry, I have to say, honestly, being able to consistently recycle a third of that amount every day seems almost equally unlikely. In my honest opinion, getting under $100 a day, like close to but not over, seems like as realistic of a high expectation as one could place on this side hustle. That still will net you close to $3,000 a month, if you're dedicated and have the means to do so, meaning you should understand that some people recycle for a single person home, some for a single family home, some for neighbors, some are collecting with the help of a community-wide network, like churches, small businesses, bars and restaurants, sports teams, and some even dumpster dive. How much material is available and how much time and energy you put in will determine your success. 2. How to tell what is worth your time and what is not. The triangle is often thought of as the indicator that something is recyclable. While it does tell you something can be recycled, and for instances of plastics, the number inside the triangle tells you which type of plastic it is. As I mentioned before, there are 7 kinds. However, in the context of recycling in California for money, the triangle is not the symbol you need to find to determine cash value. California Cash Refund, CACRV, CA Cash Refund Value, CA Cash Redemption Value, needs to be on the label or present properly on the material in order to guarantee that it is part of the program, and that, not only was the deposit paid on it, but that you will receive money for it. You may see letters around the barcode like ME, Maine, HI, Hawaii, and CTRV, Connecticut, which are different states, and the material may be worth something there. However, to get paid in California, it must be a CRV item that had its deposit paid here in California. That is how the system is set up to supposedly get you back your deposit. For the time being, milk products, 100% juice over a certain size, 46 oz specifically, 100% vegetable juice over 16 ounces, cleaning products, cooking oils, some hard alcohols, wines, sauces, baby food jars, non-beverage plastics, are considered recyclable, but are known as scrap material with no value. Some rules will change in the future, so check before going. Another aspect to calculate is whether or not it is better to turn in material by the count or by the weight. What I mean by that is you are allowed to count out 50 of one size of each material, and after the count is correctly verified you can be paid per bottle can 5 or 10 cents based on the size of the item being more or less than 24 ounces. Doing it by count guarantees that you get paid back every penny of the deposits you paid originally at the store when you bought the containers. With that being said, it is important to note that some heavier items may actually result in more money back if done by weight. An extreme example would be if there was such a thing as a single large CRV aluminum can that weigh 10 pounds by itself. Never going to happen, but say it did. Well, going by the prices we used earlier, we would have the choice of asking for 10 cents for it if it is paid for as a can that is over 24 ounces, or we can do it by weight and get $17, $1.70 per pound multiplied by 10 pounds. I guess that makes the opposite true for very light materials. That count is your best bet. But again, this comes down to trial and error, your own personal experience and preference. When you scale the math up, this is how it breaks down. 1,000 individual cans or plastic or glass bottles equals $50. According to Google, the individual weight is 19 grams for an empty 16.9 ounces plastic water bottle and 14 grams for an empty 12 ounces soda can. 1,000 empty 16.9 ounces plastic 1 bottles should equal 19,000 grams or 41.88 pounds, which in turn gives you 41.88 pounds multiplied by $1.30 per pound equals $54.44. 1,000 empty 12 ounces aluminum soda cans should equal 14,000 grams or 30.86 pounds, which in turn gives you 30.86 pounds multiplied by $1.70 per pound equals $52.46. 50 empty 16.9 ounces plastic water bottles or 12 ounces aluminum cans equals $2.50 when done by count. 50 empty 16.9 ounces plastic water bottles should weigh 950 grams or 2.09 pounds, which in turn gives you 2.09 pounds multiplied by $1.30 per pound equals $2.71. 50 empty 12 ounces aluminum cans should weigh 700 grams or 1.54 pounds, which in turn gives you 1.54 pounds multiplied by $1.70 per pound equals $2.61. My math is probably not perfect, so leave a comment down below if you have it figured out more perfectly. 3. Tips before you begin on storage. A. Separation. Having everything separated correctly is not just a luxury, it is a necessity for those who would like to get on with their day and not be stuck somewhere for an extended period of time. Make the effort to store your material separately from other types. Cans in one, plastic in another, and of course glass separate. If you need to keep everything together, then it will help to separate before going in to turn in the material. What I mean by that is do not underestimate the value of being able to separate in the privacy and comfort and luxury of your own place. You won't feel rushed, it'll be far more relaxing, and it will save you time in line when you do go, as well as save you the headache and hassle that goes with separating at the recycling center last minute. B. Crushing. Crushing does not change the weight of the individual item, However, it does allow you more space for storage and transportation. Be aware that it is easy to underestimate the weight of material when it is crushed, so keep in mind to avoid going over the daily limit. Also, some places will consider cans to have red flags if they are overly compacted or crushed, leading them to believe the material may have already been processed somewhere else and now is possibly being offered again as part of recycling fraud, meaning it could result in the load being rejected. See wet trash. No label equals a deduction or scrap value. You work to get everything right, only to have a deduction for water or dirt debris, or even worse, scrap value offered because of trash, cigarette butts or missing labels. Do not let small problems prevent you from maximizing your payout. Store secure, away from pest, leaves, dirt. Make sure containers are empty and not getting rained on. And don't forget to let those who contribute to your recycling know that trash does not go in the recycling and that in order to get paid, the labels have to be properly present. Bottle caps. Some places don't mind them, others require them to be removed. Contact the recycling centers near you to find out their preference to save you time of having to remove them last minute, as well as making sure that you consider going to one that doesn't require the removal, as the caps can add up to an amount of money you'll be surprised to know you are missing out on if not. The last thing you'll want to consider doing before going, if you have a scale that is capable, weigh yourself, then write it down. Next, pick up for example a bag of the material you're bringing in. Weigh yourself holding the bag, write that number down. Subtract your weight from the total weight, and that can help you get a rough estimate of how much the material you're taking in weighs if you add it all up. But be sure to stay under the 1,000 pounds daily limit. 4. Plastics 1 through 7. 1. PE2 water bottles. Most common material besides cans and glass. 2. HDPE, Sunny D jug, Milo's tea jug, water jug, Minute Maid jug. 3. PVC, never seen. 4. LDPE, Kool-Aid jammers, second most valuable per pound. 5. PP, electrolyte. 6. PS, Yakult, most valuable per pound, small and light. 7. Other Arizona iced tea jug. 5. Cans. Bimetals. Aluminum is non-ferrous, which is a fancy way of saying it doesn't stick to a magnet. If it looks like a CRV aluminum can but it sticks to a magnet, then chances are that it is a bimetal. If it is a bimetal with CRV in it, then it is worth money. 6. Glass. Has to be separated according to color: clear separate, brown separate, and green-blue separate. The other form of separation is CRV versus non-CRV. 7. Rule changes coming soon. California recently made announcements to changes to the Cal Recycle program. Wines, spirits, and 100% juice over a certain size will be added to the list as CRV items worth money in the near future. As of the day of this video, they had not been material that CRV was paid on, meaning these used to be considered scrap material of no value. 8. Once you are at the facility, if you are already separated, and it's time to get the material checked, weighed, and paid. 9. My expectations or goals of this video are as follows in order of importance: help millions of people from where I live lead easier lives by wasting less and having the money that they put into a system return to them in a time where so many are understandably struggling. Also, to show the financial benefit of doing something positive about the worldwide problem of pollution. If the economic incentive is not enough, then let this be an appeal to the people who care about the future of the earth. 10. How did this video help? Do you still have questions?